Are we really loading the title screen? (2001? Wow, this is old. Anyway, welcome to Sky Odyssey. It's a game about flying and occasionally not hitting things. There are 3 main game modes, but the big one is Adventure, which is where we're going now. I think I know what mission they were showing in that cutscene, and it's a pretty tough one. Alright, the plot's over, it's time to pick a plane. This is not a big choice, you can pick a different plane before every mission, but these 3 planes are customizable. So there's a slow biplane, this is a jet, I think there is a jet exhaust in the middle of a propeller. Although without a few upgrades, the jet is only a booster. And finally there's the Bf-109, the staple of the Israeli Air Force in its early days. No, really. They were flying everything they could get. Now, personally, I would strongly recommend doing the first playthrough using pretty much nothing but the Swordfish. This is the only plane that can equip floats, and you do need floats to beat Adventure Mode. And you'd probably want to improve some stats of this plane, and you cannot upgrade planes you are not flying. Yeah, see, I can go back to plane selection. I have nothing to customize the plane with, so let's begin the mission. So, what's happening? Do I need to press a button? Oh, finally, it begins. But before we take off, let's get briefed on this game and the world.
This area is composed of 4 islands. Rough, unpredictable weather has hampered the establishment of commercial and passenger routes. Because of the wild weather patterns, the islands are relatively unexplored. Many areas are so remote that they remain completely untouched. Explorers and adventurers from all over the world come here to conquer this unknown wilderness, but all have failed. Somewhere on Destin Island, the lost Tower of Maximus is said to lie sleeping, although no one has seen it with their own eyes. Legend has it, on some islands there are pieces of a lost map hidden in ruins, which show the way to Maximus. Daring explorers must search for these map pieces, believing in their skills, their machines, themselves, and above all, luck. They scour the islands in pursuit of their dreams. They all come in search of the lost Tower of Maximus, from where no one has returned alive.
Oh, just send a drone. Oh wait, this is 2001. Oh look, the island names go A, B, C, D. I wonder what order we're going to visit them in.
Arcady Island has a temperate climate and arid patches of land in the middle. The western part of the island has a great underground cavern with extremely active geysers.
Geysers? Oh, those geysers.
A huge mountain range spreads out from the center of Blanc Island. The weather is bitterly cold, and the peak is covered in snow all year round. South of the mountains, there is a rough, rocky area. To the southwest lies a dense forest. Humid and subtropical, Courant Island has rivers, streams and waterfalls. It is possibly the most beautiful of the islands. The skies over Destin Island are always shrouded in clouds. Huge formations are constantly developing around the island. With its huge falls to the north, a rocky gorge to the east, and an active volcano to the south, it's still a great unexplored wilderness where few people have dared to tread.
You know, these 4 islands sound really fucked up geographically.
Explorers and adventurers headed for the region use this small island as a starting point. Only those with the skill and grit to fly through the valley on Arcady Island have a chance at exploring the more dangerous islands. You can earn acrobatic points by performing rolls, loops, and low-altitude flight. These points improve your evaluation at mission end.
Yeah, this is not just about getting from start to finish. This is about doing stunts all the way.
Checkpoint rings are semi-transparent rings located throughout the missions in adventure mode. There are 2 types of rings, yellow rings and white rings. At the end of your flight, you will receive an evaluation. The more checkpoint rings you fly through, the better your score will be. When you fly through a yellow ring, the name of the area you are passing through will be displayed at the bottom of the screen. The rings are often located in dangerous areas. It is extremely difficult to pass through all the rings. It is not necessary to pass through all of the rings in order to complete the stage. Feel free not to attempt any rings that you judge too difficult. However, keep in mind there are rewards for passing through the rings.
Oh, come on, you can't do that. It's not necessary to pass through all the rings. Bear in mind there are rewards for passing through all the rings. What am I supposed to do now? I suppose let's fly a mission and find out.
Your mission. Safely navigate the ravine near the eastern shore of Arcady Island and land in the clearing. The weather is clear, with some cloud cover over the ocean. Fly northwest towards the ocean. Once you see the ocean, change course and fly due north. Be careful of sudden gusts and air pockets. When you reach the shore of Arcady Island, fly into the ravine. Fly through the ravine to avoid strong gusts of wind, but be careful to avoid rock slides inside the ravine.
Don't fly there, it will kill you. Fly here, where it might kill you.
Follow the arrow on your radar screen to the clearing. Once you reach the clearing, there will be an airstrip. Land here to complete your mission.
Why was there a choir singing in the background of the briefing in my flying game? Are we going to fight some god at the end? I'm not a fan of the paint scheme this plane starts with, but luckily it can be changed. Wow, there is a strong wind up there. Game, where are my points for the roll? So here's something the game doesn't tell you for the first mission. If you do a stunt through a checkpoint, you get extra points. In this case, instead of getting 100 points for the roll, I get 500 extra. By the way, the flight physics are fairly simple, very novice-friendly, and there is a lot of rudder authority. It's almost like a horizontal elevator. Now I have to apologize in advance, but in the second half of the mission, where shit gets real, there will be technical difficulties with recording. You'll see. It's going to start when we enter this ravine. That slight stutter comes out of nowhere. And mind you, I am playing looking at what you're seeing right now, not at a buttery smooth video output from the console. So this was a bit of an extra challenge run. And then I found the reason for this stutter. I forgot to turn off deinterlacing after Space War attack. Things are not looking good. Anyway, the reason I get this stutter only here and now and not throughout the whole mission is because this game does not need deinterlacing. But in this ravine, when the rocks begin to crumble, everything starts to shake. For some reason your screen begins to shake, and it's implemented by blurring it. So the deinterlacing filter goes nuts. So I'm playing this with the added challenge of going completely blind when the game decides to shake the screen. Let's see how it pans out in the actually hard part of the level. Oh shit. See, this is why flying is weak to rock. Are those overhangs going to collapse too? There is a tight turn ahead. By the way, in this plane, with your gear down, it is possible to bounce off the walls of the ravine if you feel like you're not making it. Now look at the minimap. The path is splitting ahead. One of those may be going to a secret runway. Yeah, there are secret runways in this game, where you can find extra parts, but I'm not going to look for one yet. Okay, I might have bounced off. There is another ring right behind the turn. That could be a problem. It's the yellow ring. Okay, that was a lucky grab. Yeah, that ring is not easy to get. It's got this wall of wind which is pushing you past it, and it's also too high to fly there normally. I need to get 6,000 acrobatic points. That's the magic number you want to get in, I believe, 10 missions in the course of the campaign. There is an unlockable tie to that. Alright, got my 6,000, now I can land. I wonder what the safe landing speed is. The game never told us, did it? No, it didn't. A plus circle. That circle means I get 6,000 acrobatic points. And I wish I crashed during this mission, then I'd just restart the recording. But no, it went surprisingly well for a mission I flew without being able to see. Kinda disappointing. But now comes the best part. Whenever you beat a mission with a rank of at least a B, you get to pick an extra part for the plane you've just used. So for starters, we've got a choice of wings. Some of these wings are good for climbing, some of them are good for stability, some are good for speed. Now, based on my experience in my first playthrough of this game, do not try to build this plane for speed. That's not to say that extra speed is not good. It is. But do not get it at the expense of maneuverability. So we've got this exciting choice of tails. Then there is the engine upgrade, which boosts both the power and the weight. There are also a couple of pretty funky propellers available to us. Well, okay, only one of them is really funky. There are also canopies, which slightly reduce drag. And naturally, we can also mess with the fuselage. We can make it heavier and sturdier, or lighter and very fragile. But the absolutely best first upgrade is this: tires. Simply putting covers around your wheels gives you a pretty sizable boost in speed, and doesn't cost you much of anything else. I wish I could keep upgrading my plane all the time by simply putting better and better cover around the wheels, but that's not how this game is going to work. Now give me a moment, I need to restore sanity. Much better. Alright, so here's the customization menu, and it's slightly more than just sticking the parts you unlocked onto the plane. See, this is a pretty good boost. But I can also paint things. The game doesn't really let you fully customize your paint scheme. You have to pick from several pre-made designs. But you can change the colors, and if you feel like it, you can make the plane, I don't know, bright pink. Here are the patterns. There are only 5 of them, but there may be a way to unlock more. I don't remember exactly. And there is the emblem too, if you absolutely want your plane to carry the markings of the Energy Air Force, or whatever. If you're good at pixel art and really patient, you could possibly make an emblem yourself. Nobody but you is going to see it, but the opportunity is there if you want it. Now, what was the next mission? Maybe we could do another one? Oh, no, that's where the crazy begins. Now, let's go back to the main menu, quickly save off camera, and then go and see some of the other gameplay modes. Because adventure is not the only one. Pretty much everything you do in Sky Odyssey that gets you some kind of points or grades or rank is tied to an unlockable, and unlockables are primarily aircraft. Although they're not customizable, but they're still nice to have in your hangar to look at. And never fly, because the swordfish is king.
The objective of Sky Canvas mode is to create designs in the sky by releasing smoke from your aircraft. In each stage there is a different design to make. Here is how to play. When flying, press the circle button to release smoke from your aircraft. Releasing smoke will make a line in the sky. Joining these lines together will make a pattern. However, you can't create a good design by just letting off smoke. Fly to the rings in the sky and release smoke as you pass through. Fly through the rings in order to create the correct pattern.
Alright, let's create some patterns in the sky.
Let's draw a straight line for our first session. This stage contains rings numbered 1 and 2. To clear this stage, release smoke while flying from ring 1 to ring 2.
Again? Alright, next episode I'll start cutting out the loading screens, because you can see how many of them this game has. Well, wasn't that a challenge? Let's try another one, to see if the difficulty goes up in any way.
This time we will draw an equilateral triangle. This stage contains rings numbered 1 through 3. Fly through ring 3 and the finish ring will appear. Clear the stage by releasing smoke while flying from rings 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to fin.
Come to think of it, I haven't drawn an equilateral triangle anywhere in years. Possibly since school. Oh wait, we did that at the university. The hardest part in these turns is maintaining altitude. There's no way this is going to be a perfect score now. Oh well. Really? That was perfect? Fine, I'll take it. Alright, we can finish Sky Canvas in later episodes as a bit of side content. And I believe the unlockable for that mode is pretty good actually, but only for a couple of missions. There is one other thing we need to see today. It's target mode. We're not going to play it yet, but it's got a trailer for itself inside the game. We'll check it out. Yes, it's a mode about smashing targets in a numerical order with your plane. But it's more than that. And it's always disorienting when the game keeps showing me the default yellow plane instead of my swordfish. The target mode is big and it's branching, kinda like a Sky Outrun, but not quite as action-packed. Alright, next time I'll sort out my recording setup, sorry for today, and we'll go back to adventure and we'll fly the first mission, where you take off with a ruptured fuel tank.